Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm so glad to have you here with us today. Whether you're new or have been following along for a while, I truly appreciate you taking the time to watch. Today we're going to dive into a topic that touches each and every one of us, the experience of failure. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like giving up when faced with failure? Is failure really the end of your efforts, or is it just an important lesson on the road to success? It's a question we've all grappled with at one point or another. Whether it's a personal goal, a career aspiration, or something important in your life, failure can sometimes feel like a setback too big to overcome. But what if I told you that failure isn't the end? What if it's actually a signpost guiding you towards something greater? What if failure was part of the journey, not the destination? In today's video, we're going to talk about why failure is an unavoidable part of life and how it doesn't mean you should give up. Instead, failure, when approached the right way, becomes a turning point on the path to success. Life is filled with challenges, and failure is just one of the hurdles we face on the road to achieving our goals. But here's the thing, it's not the failures themselves that define us, but how we respond to them. When you choose not to give up, failure becomes a stepping stone. It's a lesson, a teacher, and an opportunity to learn and grow. Think about it, every successful person you admire has faced failure. What set them apart wasn't that they never failed, it was that they kept going despite it. So here's the big question we're going to explore today. Why should you never give up even when you face failure? And what important lessons can you learn from those challenges that will help you move closer to your goals? We'll dive into how failure helps you build resilience, teaches you valuable lessons, and ultimately brings you one step closer to your dreams. By the end of this video, I hope you'll feel inspired to look at failure from a new perspective, not as something to avoid, but as a tool to push you forward. Before we jump into the full discussion, I'd love for you to join our community. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an inspiring video like this one. We're all in this journey together, and I can't wait to share more insights and motivation with you to help you grow. Thank you for being here. Now let's get started. Failure is often seen as something negative, a setback, a sign of defeat, or a reason to give up. The idea of failing can feel uncomfortable, even painful, especially when we are passionate about our goals. But what if we viewed failure in a different light? What if instead of seeing it as the end, we saw it as an essential part of the learning and growing process? Failure is not the final word in our journey towards success. It is merely a chapter in a much larger story. Every time we fail, we have an opportunity to reflect, learn, and adjust our approach. Each failure gives us valuable insights into ourselves, our methods, and our goals. The key is to see failure as feedback, not as a conclusion. When we experience failure, we are invited to ask important questions. What went wrong? Why didn't it work? What can I do differently next time? These questions, though difficult to answer in the moment of disappointment, are the building blocks of personal growth and progress. In fact, it is through failure that we often find the answers that will guide us to success. Failure forces us to evaluate our choices, rethink our strategies, and often come up with creative solutions we hadn't considered before. In many cases, failure is a signal that we're stepping outside of our comfort zone, trying something new, or challenging ourselves in ways that are necessary for growth. While failure can sting, it is in those moments that we discover who we really are, not just in terms of our strengths, but also in how we handle adversity. The most successful people in the world are not those who never fail, but those who embrace failure as an opportunity to learn and keep moving forward. One of the most valuable aspects of failure is that it helps us identify mistakes that we might not have seen otherwise. It can be easy to continue down a path without questioning our methods, especially if things seem to be going fine on the surface. But failure forces us to stop and evaluate. What went wrong? What could I have done differently? These questions are not about beating ourselves up. They are about identifying areas for improvement and finding ways to become better. Failure provides us with a kind of honest feedback that success often cannot give. Success can feel good and reinforce our beliefs that we're on the right track, but it doesn't always tell us what needs to be fixed. On the other hand, failure gives us clarity and helps us see where we might be missing the mark. It teaches us about our weaknesses, mistakes, and the areas where we need to develop new skills. When we reflect on our failures, we learn to recognize patterns that might be holding us back. For example, if we fail in a project because of poor time management, we learn that we need to improve our planning. If we fail in a relationship due to communication breakdowns, we learn that we need to work on our listening skills and our ability to express ourselves more clearly. Every failure is a lesson in disguise, showing us what we need to work on in order to improve and be better next time. Importantly, failure helps us develop resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, to keep going despite difficulties, and to maintain our focus on our goals. Without failure, we would never truly learn how to cope with challenges and push through adversity. The next time we face a similar challenge, we will be stronger, wiser, and better equipped to handle it. Failure, when viewed through the right lens, becomes a stepping stone towards success. It's the foundation upon which our growth is built. Every failure we experience takes us one step closer to our goal because it teaches us something valuable that we can apply next time. Consider some of the most successful individuals in history. They didn't achieve greatness without encountering failure. In fact, many of them failed repeatedly before they found success. Thomas Edison, for instance, is famous for saying, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison failed countless times while inventing the light bulb, yet he never gave up. Each failure was a lesson that brought him closer to success. Edison's story teaches us that failure is a part of the process, and that perseverance is the key to eventual success. Similarly, J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series, faced rejection after rejection before finding a publisher who believed in her story. At one point, she was living on welfare, struggling with personal challenges, and had been turned down by numerous publishers. Her success didn't come easily, it was built on the foundation of failure. But through every setback, Rowling learned, adapted, and improved, eventually creating one of the most beloved book series in history. Her story is a powerful reminder that failure is not a sign to give up, but a sign that we're closer to achieving something great. Michael Jordan, often considered the greatest basketball player of all time, was cut from his high school basketball team. His coach told him that he wasn't good enough, but rather than giving up, Jordan used that failure as fuel to work even harder. He spent hours practicing refining his skills and improving his game. His resilience and perseverance, built on the foundation of that early failure, led him to 6 NBA championships and a legendary career. Michael Jordan's journey shows us that failure isn't a permanent state, it's a temporary setback that can propel us forward when we respond with determination and a growth mindset. These examples all highlight the same truth. Failure is a powerful teacher, and it's often the key to success. The most successful people in history were those who refused to give up when they faced failure. Instead, they learned from their mistakes, adapted their strategies, and kept pushing forward. Failure didn't stop them, it made them stronger, more determined, and more resilient. Let's take a look at the story of Sylvester Stallone, an iconic actor and filmmaker. Before becoming a household name, Stallone faced numerous rejections. He was struggling to make ends meet, living in a small apartment and working odd jobs. He even had to sell his dog because he could no longer afford to feed him. At one point, he wrote the script for Rocky, a movie about an underdog boxer, and shopped it around to Hollywood studios. Every major studio rejected him, some even mocked him for the script. Stallone could have given up at any of these moments. He could have accepted the rejections and moved on to something else, but instead he decided to stick with his vision. He refused to let failure define him. Eventually, Stallone found a small studio willing to take a chance on Rocky, and the movie became a massive success, eventually earning him an Academy Award nomination. Stallone went from being broke and struggling to becoming one of the most famous actors in the world, all because he chose not to give up. Stallone's story is a testament to the power of perseverance. He didn't let rejection stop him. He used it as a stepping stone to refine his craft, improve his approach, and eventually achieve his dreams. He proves that failure doesn't define you. How you respond to failure is what truly matters. In conclusion, failure is not the end. It's a learning opportunity, a chance to reflect, adapt, and grow. Every failure offers us the chance to identify mistakes, improve our approach, and move closer to success. Failure, when embraced as a lesson, becomes a stepping stone toward our ultimate goals. The most successful individuals in the world didn't get to where they are by avoiding failure. Instead, they used their failures as catalysts for growth and resilience. Just as Thomas Edison, J.K. Rowling, Michael Jordan, and Sylvester Stallone all faced significant setbacks but chose to persevere, you too can use failure to fuel your progress. Failure is never the end, it's simply the beginning of the next step in your journey towards success. One of the most powerful traits of successful people is their ability to persevere, to keep moving forward even in the face of repeated setbacks. Perseverance is key to overcoming failure because it allows us to stay focused and remain committed to our goals despite the inevitable obstacles that arise along the way. When we pursue our dreams or work toward a goal, we don't always achieve instant success. The road to success is rarely smooth. There are often setbacks, challenges, and failures that test our determination. However, perseverance is the ability to continue forward despite those setbacks. Instead of giving up, perseverance encourages us to keep going, knowing that every failure is simply a part of the process that ultimately leads to success. Perseverance isn't just about gritting your teeth and pushing through adversity without any thought. It's about maintaining your drive and staying committed to your goal even when things get tough. Success rarely comes without challenges. The key to achieving anything meaningful in life is to persist, to stay focused on your vision, even when the path isn't clear and the road is filled with obstacles. Perseverance teaches us that failure isn't the end of the journey, it's just another opportunity to try again. The most important aspect of perseverance is the ability to keep moving forward even when you don't see immediate results. It's easy to feel discouraged when things aren't going your way, but perseverance helps you stay motivated and maintain momentum, knowing that each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your goal. One of the hardest aspects of failure is that it can make us question ourselves and our abilities. It's easy to start doubting whether we are capable of achieving our goals after facing repeated setbacks. Perseverance helps us stay focused and motivated even when we feel discouraged or overwhelmed by failure. When you experience failure, it's important to remind yourself why you started in the first place. Perseverance is not just about pushing through adversity, but about keeping your eyes on the prize even when the journey seems long and uncertain. The ability to remain focused on your goal rather than on the immediate disappointment of failure helps you maintain the drive needed to keep moving forward. One way perseverance helps maintain motivation is by providing the mental fortitude needed to push through tough moments. When we face setbacks, it's easy to become disheartened and lose sight of our goal. Perseverance, however, acts as a reminder that challenges are just a natural part of the process. Each failure is an opportunity to refine our approach and get closer to the success we desire. Another aspect of perseverance is that it teaches us to develop resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from difficult situations, and it is one of the most important factors in determining success. Those who persevere through failure not only learn how to keep going, but also how to adjust and adapt in order to keep improving. Without perseverance, we would be quick to give up when things get hard. But by learning to persist, we can navigate through challenges and turn them into learning experiences. Perseverance doesn't mean blindly doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. It's about adapting and learning from failure so that we can approach challenges with a new mindset and strategy. In other words, perseverance isn't about repeating mistakes, it's about adjusting and improving. When faced with failure, it's important to take the time to reflect on what went wrong. What did we learn from the experience? How can we approach the situation differently the next time? Awareness is a key component of perseverance as it helps us evaluate our approach, refine our strategies, and learn from our mistakes. Perseverance means being open to change, learning from feedback and adapting your methods. It's about trying new approaches and being flexible in the face of obstacles. Sometimes we might need to adjust our goals slightly, refine our skills, or tweak our strategies to make sure we're moving in the right direction. Perseverance involves a willingness to adapt without losing sight of the bigger picture. The key to success through perseverance is the balance between determination and adaptation. It's not enough to simply keep going without considering what needs to change. Adaptation is where real growth happens. When we approach failure with a mindset of learning, we can adjust our approach and overcome the challenges that previously held us back. One of the most iconic success stories of perseverance is that of Walt Disney. Today, Disney is a global entertainment powerhouse, but the road to success for Walt Disney was anything but easy. He faced numerous rejection setbacks and financial difficulties along the way. Disney's first major business venture, Graham Studios, went bankrupt. He was in debt and many of his early ventures were unsuccessful. He was told that his ideas were impossible and that he lacked the talent to succeed. Disney faced repeated failures, yet he never gave up. Instead of letting failure define him, he saw it as an opportunity to learn and grow. After the bankruptcy of Graham Studios, Disney moved to Hollywood, where he faced even more obstacles. He was turned down by numerous investors, with many saying that his ideas for animated films were too risky or would never succeed. Yet despite these setbacks, Disney continued to push forward with incredible perseverance. His determination led him to create the Disney empire that we know today, from Mickey Mouse to Disneyland and eventually to an international media and entertainment empire. What made Disney's journey so remarkable wasn't that he never failed, but that he kept going even in the face of failure after failure. Every rejection, every financial setback, and every difficulty he faced served as a lesson, helping him refine his ideas and improve his methods. If Disney had given up after the first failure, or even the second or third, the world would have never known the magic of Disney. His perseverance is a testament to the fact that success often comes only after many failures, and that failure isn't the end, it's simply a lesson on the way to greatness. Disney's ability to adapt, learn, and keep moving forward through failure is exactly what perseverance is about. He didn't let the roadblocks he encountered stop him. Instead, he used them to fuel his determination, adjust his strategies, and ultimately achieve success on a level few could have ever imagined. In conclusion, perseverance is the key to overcoming failure and achieving success. It is the ability to keep moving forward despite setbacks and challenges. Perseverance helps us stay focused and motivated even when things get tough. The key to perseverance is awareness and adaptation. By reflecting on our failures, adjusting our approach, and learning from our mistakes, we are able to keep moving forward with renewed determination. Walt Disney's story serves as a powerful reminder that success is not about avoiding failure, but about persevering through failure and using it as a springboard to improvement. If we approach failure with perseverance, we can turn every setback into a stepping stone on the path to success. It's easy to think of failure as a barrier, a closed door, or the end of a dream. But what if we reframed failure as something entirely different, an opportunity? While failure can certainly be discouraging, it often opens up new paths that we might not have seen before. Failure is not just a setback, it's a gateway to new opportunities. When we fail, we are forced to reassess our current approach. Our old strategies, ideas, and plans may no longer work, which creates space for innovation and fresh thinking. The end of one attempt might be the beginning of another. In the wake of failure, new doors open, and it's often through these new doors that we find the breakthroughs we need to succeed. Think of failure as a reset button. It forces us to pause, step back, and look at things from a new perspective. Instead of seeing failure as a permanent roadblock, view it as a signal that tells us it's time to try something new, take a different approach, or look at the problem from another angle. In essence, failure gives us the opportunity to pivot, and discover solutions we may never have considered had we not faced a challenge. This ability to open new opportunities is especially important in today's fast-paced, ever-changing world. The most successful individuals and businesses are those who embrace failure and use it to continuously evolve. They don't dwell on past mistakes, instead they look for innovative ways to grow and adapt, learning from each failure as a stepping stone toward greater success. One of the most significant benefits of failure is that it makes us more creative. When things don't go according to plan, we are forced to think differently, and often this leads to innovative solutions. Failure disrupts the status quo, challenging us to look beyond the obvious and seek out new approaches. This is where true creativity is born, not from success, but from the challenge of overcoming failure. Think about it: when everything is going smoothly, it's easy to follow the same routine, use the same methods, and stick with what we know. But when we encounter failure, we are compelled to stretch our thinking, explore new avenues, and find alternative solutions. Often this creative problem solving is exactly what leads to breakthroughs that wouldn't have happened if everything had gone according to plan. Failure pushes us out of our comfort zones, making us more willing to experiment, take risks, and step into unknown territory. When we fail, we are forced to ask questions like, what can I do differently, or what's the next step? These questions spark creativity, which can lead to innovations and ideas that we wouldn't have explored otherwise. Failure in this sense is a catalyst for creativity. It forces us to come up with new ways of thinking, working and achieving our goals. This creative energy is not only essential for individual growth, but is also crucial for business and technology. Companies that fail to innovate and adapt often struggle, while those that learn from failure and continually reinvent themselves are the ones that thrive. Creativity is at the heart of every successful recovery from failure, whether it's a new product, a fresh strategy, or an entirely new business model. Another important benefit of failure is that it helps us gain clarity about our goals and motivation. Often when we face setbacks, we are forced to reflect on why we are pursuing a particular goal and what we truly want to achieve. Failure can be an eye-opening experience, making us more aware of our values and desires, which ultimately leads to stronger, more focused motivation. When things don't go as planned, it's natural to ask ourselves, why am I doing this? Is this really the goal I want to pursue? Or, what is the real reason I'm working so hard for this? These questions, though uncomfortable, provide us with the clarity we need to understand our deeper motivations and reaffirm why we started in the first place. Sometimes it takes failure to realign us with our true purpose and refresh our vision. Failure also reveals what we truly care about. It strips away the distractions and forces us to dig deep and discover what is really important to us. When things aren't going well, we are forced to reassess our path, and in doing so, we gain a clearer sense of direction. Failure clarifies whether we are pursuing something because it's truly our passion, or whether we are simply chasing after something for the wrong reasons. By gaining clarity through failure, we become more motivated to continue our journey. Instead of giving up, we are empowered by the knowledge that our goals are worth the effort. We also gain a deeper sense of purpose, knowing that the journey is just as important as the destination. Failure brings us closer to understanding the why behind our goals, and once we understand that, we are better equipped to pursue them with passion and determination. One of the most powerful examples of how failure opens new opportunities and fosters creativity is the story of Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple Inc. Jobs' journey is a perfect illustration of how failure can lead to extraordinary success. In 1985, after co-founding Apple and building it into a major company, Jobs was fired from the very company he helped create. This was without a doubt a massive setback, one that many would have seen as the end of his career. However, instead of letting failure define him, Jobs used that moment as an opportunity to reinvent himself. Rather than wallowing in self-pity or bitterness, Jobs went on to found Next, a new computer company, and Pixar, which would later revolutionize the animation industry. His experiences at Pixar and Next gave him a wealth of knowledge, which he brought back to Apple when he returned to the company in 1997. Steve Jobs used failure as a stepping stone to success. The setbacks he faced didn't discourage him. They pushed him to think differently and to come up with innovative ideas. When he returned to Apple, he introduced the iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad, which transformed not only Apple, but the entire tech industry. His ability to pivot, embrace new ideas, and learn from his earlier failures ultimately led to Apple's rise as one of the most influential companies in the world. Jobs' journey is a powerful example of how failure, when viewed as an opportunity, can lead to groundbreaking success. His initial failure didn't define him. Instead, it opened the door to new possibilities that had an even greater impact on the world than his first success with Apple. By embracing failure and learning from it, Jobs was able to create innovative products that revolutionized entire industries and changed the way we interact with technology. In conclusion, failure is not the end, it's an opportunity. Each failure we experience opens new doors and presents new possibilities that we may not have seen before. Failure fosters creativity, pushing us to think differently and come up with new solutions to problems. It also helps us gain clarity about our goals and motivations, leading to stronger commitment and clearer focus on what truly matters to us. The story of Steve Jobs is a powerful reminder that failure is not a dead end, but a launchpad for new opportunities. Jobs didn't let his early setbacks define his career. Instead, he used them to reinvent himself and create groundbreaking products that changed the world. His perseverance, adaptability, and creativity in the face of failure are what ultimately led to his success. So the next time you face failure, remember that it's not a roadblock, it's a stepping stone to greater things. Failure opens up opportunities to rethink, reimagine, and create something new. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it as a tool to propel you forward. As we wrap up today's video, let's recap the main message. Failure is not the end. It's an important part of your journey. While it may feel discouraging in the moment, failure plays a crucial role in your growth and progress. Each time you fail, you gain valuable insights that help you learn, persevere, and discover new opportunities that you may not have seen before. Failure is not something to fear. It's an inevitable part of any meaningful journey. It's through failure that we learn our greatest lessons, develop resilience, and grow into stronger individuals. The key is not to avoid failure, but to embrace it and use it as a tool for improvement. Remember, perseverance and learning from failure are the keys to achieving success in the future. Every time you face a setback, you're building the foundation for your next breakthrough. I want to leave you with this important reminder. Don't give up even when you encounter failure. Success doesn't come from avoiding failure, it comes from continuing to persevere. Learn and adjust your strategies along the way. It's through this process that you build the strength and wisdom needed to reach your goals. Every failure you encounter is not a dead end, but a crucial step forward on the path to success. It's a chance to reflect, adjust, and move forward with more clarity. If you stay committed to your goals and keep learning from every experience, you will get closer to the success you've been striving for. The greatest achievements often come from those who are willing to fail and then keep going. I'd love to hear from you. Share your stories of failure and perseverance in the comments below. How did you overcome a failure? And how did you keep moving forward after it? Your story could inspire someone else who's going through a tough time. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay updated with more inspiring content. Share your story about not giving up after failure, and remember, the road to success isn't always easy, but it's always worth it.